Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to part two for roofers. We're talking about SEO. In the first part, we went over discovery, which is gathering a bunch of keywords, grouping them, looking for competitors, and just kind of creating the plan. And what does that plan look like? Here's the plan. We have different blog topics, and we have service area pages and service pages, which is all great. So once you have that, you can go ahead and start creating the pages. And I'll create a separate tutorial for that, but I just want to cover some low-hanging fruit first, which are directories. So if we scroll down, so what are you going to learn? I'm going to show you like the different types of directories, what to get on, and like basically what's going to be the biggest bang for your buck, or what's the most important directories to be on, especially for roofers. So we got three different types. We have niche. So if it's actually, what is a directory? So let me just click into this one so you are clear on what I'm talking about. So a directory is, just a list of different businesses. So we have First Choice Roofing, United Kingdom. If we click in here, we'll probably see like a little page about that company. So there you have it. That's a directory. And you're probably pretty familiar with Yelp. So this is also a directory. So if we go to like roofer here, roofer somewhere. We have some roofers in Portugal. But yeah, I think you get the point. So those are directories. Now, which directories do you want to be on? So I said niche. So the niche has to do with your particular kind of business. So if you're a roofer, you want to get on directories that have to do with roofing. If you're a dentist, same thing. So if there's a listing, a directory for dentists, then you'd probably want to be on that. Local is, if you're in San Diego, it's like San Diego roofing directory, if there are any. You could also use your local Chamber of Commerce. So you can find the San Diego Chamber of Commerce and try to get on that directory. And these are just signals telling Google, hey, you really work in this place. You're not just some fly-by-night company. You're here to stay. Generic directories are the Yelp kind. So Yelp, Bing, Google Business Profile, these are the big ones. So yeah, like how to get on these directories. You can use tools like Bright Local. Let me just show you that real quick. This is a nice little service. Let's see, citation building service. So you can use this citation building service to get you those directories. They'll create the directories for you. However, you'll probably want to create a Google Business Profile first, because they base that work they're going to do, creating all these other directories like Yelp and Bing. They base it off of this main one, or that's how it seems to me, at least every time I've used it. So that's what we want to start with, I would say. And it's, the most important directory I'd say there is for any kind of local area search. So definitely important. Now, besides that, like what other directories would you want to be on? Well, I would just enter the keywords that you're trying to rank for. The ones with the highest volume. So if you're a roofer in San Diego, it'd probably be like roofer San Diego. If we go to our sitemap table, let me move actually, let's hide that. If we move over here, so we got total monthly volume. So that's pretty high, and that's pretty high. So let's see, that keyword is roofer near me. Okay. That's not quite area specific. Let's see. San Diego roofing. I like that. And that has about 1,760 people per month looking that up. So that's a pretty good one to go after. So San Diego roofing, what you do, you take this. That's the keyword. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take another tool, and you could just put this into your browser and look it up, but I would go the extra step and use this tool. So pop the tool in here, or it's probably the keyword there, and then type your area, San Diego, California. Click get search results. And then you're going to have page 1, page 2, page 3. Just page 1 should be enough. Okay, so this tool, what did it do? It makes the browser think that you are in San Diego. If you can see it down there. So it's saying like, oh, you're in San Diego, and it's going to show me results as if I was in San Diego. So we got some ads at the top. We got the Google Business Profile stuff here, aka the map pack. And look, there's Yelp. So do you want to be on that? Oh yeah, you want to be on Yelp because for like the most important keyword there is for San Diego roofers, that's the directory that's showing up. So if we click in here, what do we see? By the way, to get the top 10 best roofing, uh, it it might help to like spend a few dollars to get on this list here. Like up at the top, see like sponsored results. So if you really want to be in there, you might have to spend a few dollars. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to get like a bunch of reviews and just be good at what you do and respond to reviews, offer a good service. So, but it takes time. So if you want to do the faster way, then sponsored results. So there's one directory. Is there any others? Okay, Reddit, Yelp again. Better Business Bureau, that's another directory to be on. So let's see what we got. Let's say, yeah, sure. Okay, so here are the businesses. And you definitely want to be on here. And this will probably cost you a little bit too, but it's an investment. If someone sees this on your website, this Better Business Bureau thing, that's a good trust signal. So probably worth having. And I think you get the idea. So you can go through your keywords, and here are the little keywords I found. Put those in, and then see what directories you can find. In addition, you can also go onto SEMrush or a keyword research tool and look at what your competitors are doing. And that's just like you go to like the backlink analysis, and then you can find them there. Typically, I don't know. It's usually not that great. Like the directories I see for the other businesses, but yeah, you can always try that as well. But I think this is probably the first place I would start because it's for the keywords that you're trying to rank and that you want to be seen. Okay, so we covered Yelp. We've covered Better Business Bureau. And another option for places to find more directories is looking at your competitors. So if we go to semrush.com, okay, I'm in SEMrush and I'm going to take a look at my competitors' directories. So again, we will come to where we put in the keyword here and see what competitors are showing up. We have San Diego Roofing. Let's copy that link address and take a look. So we want to go to backlinks. Let's check the backlinks. So one thing to note is directories. There's two types of backlinks. So there's follow and no follow. There's actually more, but let me just show you. Okay, I want to show you what a no follow link looks like. So let's try to find one. I'm going to go to Better Business Bureau. I'm going to click into this business here. And then we got a visit website link. Okay, so I'm opening up the dev tools. You don't have to know how to do this. I'm just showing you what one looks like. Okay, so here's the link right there. And then we have no follow. So what does that mean? It just means that this website isn't going to pass its domain authority to this site that it's linking to. So it's just kind of what most directories do. They just give no follow links. So it's just important to note, like a backlink. I mean, I guess you could consider this a backlink, but backlinks are typically a lot more valuable. Actually, aren't typically. They are a lot more valuable if they are follow links. So, but this is a no follow. All right. Okay. So that out of the way, we can return to see if there are any directories that we can find here. For san diego roofing.com, which could be your competitor if you are a roofer in San Diego. And let's see, what do we find? BBB, there we go, Yellow Pages, okay. Today's homeowner.com, that just looks like a blog. Okay, so yeah, that's good that we found the directories right away when we click no follow. That's what I'm filtering for. Anything else? What you could do is, just export this and then go through them all. Porch, Nextdoor could be a really great one to be on for local businesses. I highly recommend. That's free. Yeah, so you can just like go through here and see if there's any other directories, but typically I don't find that many good ones. I actually have better luck just looking for them manually, so I'll just go like roofing directory, something like that. Roofingdirectory.com, approved roofers, roofers directory, or like roofing companies San Diego. See if there's any others. I'm kind of trying to look for like a niche roofing directory. That looks like just a business. Yeah. So I think you get the idea. You just look for other directories that are roofing related. And typically, in my experience, when I'm writing content for companies like a roofing company, as you write the content, you'll find these like resources of high quality sites that have to do with roofing. So uh, there's other ways to find them, but just keep a list, and once you see something, oh, that looks nice, and then you can add it to the list. Okay, great. So we covered another way to get directories. Okay, so we got the keywords, we got the some directories already in mind. We've explored niche, local ones. Type in San Diego roofing, see what you find. And then the generic ones, Google Business Profile, Yelp, Bing, Yellow Pages, those kind. These are all great to be on. And I think it's necessary to be on this one. So with that said, okay, so how do we prepare to get these listings? So what I would suggest is we want to have all of our information before we go in and start creating the directories. We don't want to keep changing our information as we create directories because we want them to all be the same, all say the same thing, have the same name, address, phone. Okay, so you don't want to be changing this. It doesn't look great for Google when it's looking at your business and it sees like you have different business names or different phones or addresses. It's a mess. Okay, so keep the same name, address, and phone at least for everything. And where do we start? We start on the Google Business Profile. And just a heads up, I've made a video on this, so please check it out. I'll have a link somewhere above this video showing up right now. So you can click it and then you'll learn how to create a Google Business Profile. But I'm also going to walk you through the specific steps for a roofer because you're going to have different categories than say another business might. Okay, so I'm going to give you that part of it, but this video will help you with the technical setup. And you'll also want to grab the Plepper app, which will help you find categories for your Google Business Profile. All right, so let's just get started. So you're a roofing company and you want to get on Google Business Profile. Let's just go to the maps first, maps.google. Okay, and let's say you're roofer San Diego. Great. So we come here and we got a few roofers. Now, kind of go to the area where you're going to work. Let's say it's here. I'm going to search again. Okay, so now we sort of have an idea of like what roofers are in your area. So you're going to see your competition. And what you do is, well, first let me just say the big ranking things for these Google business profiles are the name, the business name, the reviews, and then the category. So this is roofing contractor. That's a category. Those are the big levers that help you rank. So you really want to get those right. With reviews, it's straightforward. You ask your customers for reviews, have them tell like what service they received, so that kind of helps establish like gets you keywords in the reviews, which is nice. And then your business name, uh, I think it used to matter more if you had the location in your business name. So if you had like roofing San Diego, I think it still helps, but probably just not as much. But don't quote me on that. So I mean, if you already have a business name, don't worry about it. Just put it there. So now we just got to find out, okay, what categories does it make sense for your business to have? And that's why we take a peek at the other businesses. So I'm just gonna, refresh this here, and usually, yeah. So I should be able to click here on a business. Great. Okay, so this thing popping in the side isn't something that happens normally. You have to install an app, uh, a little plugin here called Plepper, and it's going to help you see these things. And this information has to do with this business, Roofing Specialists of San Diego. And we see that their category is roofing contractor. That's helpful. Note that down. And then we're going to check out peak builders and roofers, the roofing contractor, bathroom remodel, build. Okay, so they have quite a few more. So this is great. So what you do is you find your main competitors and then you get their categories. And there's two kind of categories. You got primary and secondary. So primary is going to be like the main thing you do, and then the secondary ones are just services that you do, but they are just not as important as the primary one. RSI, what do you got? Roofing contractors. So it looks pretty clear that roofing contractor is likely the one you want to have as your primary category, given the top ranking ones are using roofing contractor. But if you're still not sure if you've covered all your bases, like maybe there's some other ones that these people did not notice. Google does come out with more categories. So what you do is you come over to plepper.com. Your tools. Okay. Google Business Profile categories. Full list. Okay. And then you click the blue button, fetch the categories. And then you can search. So I'm going to type roof. Let's see what happens. Roofing contractor. Great. What else can we say? Roofer? No. Maybe gutters, like if you do gutter installations. Gutter service. That's good. Yeah, I'm not finding too many, but you could keep looking here for other categories that might work. Let's see, maybe you do like power wash, maybe power wash roofs. Let's see if there's anything for that. Okay, nah. So yeah, you want to get those categories. I would probably say roofing contractor is probably the first primary category you'd want to have, and then just look at what services you offer, and then make those the secondary categories, and use what other people have put here to help. So let's see. I think this second one. Let's refresh the page here. Sometimes Plepper needs to be refreshed. Okay, let's check that. Okay, great. Now it changed. So yeah, they have a deck builder. Maybe you do decks as well. Yeah. Okay, so those are the categories. So your business name is your business name. Just make sure that what you have here is what is on the website. So let's see. Curious if they did it. Peak Builders and Roofers of San Diego. What do we got? Peak Builders and Roofers of San Diego. That's great. What can get you in trouble is if you have a name, let's say you tried to keyword stuff this. So you said like Peak Builders and then like San Diego, California or something. But then you come here and it just says Peak Builders and there's no San Diego, there's no any of that. That could potentially get you in trouble and possibly suspend your Google business profile. So basically you just make sure those two names are the same. Okay. Reviews we already covered. So yeah, so I have a template and it's in my other video where I explain how to create a Google Business Profile. That's where you can put all of this information. So you'll have a nice, neat a bunch of information so that when you create this, it's really easy. You'll have a phone number to pop in, the name, the categories. But the other thing that we should look at is what do we write? Um, so I'm not seeing too much here, uh, like the bio section, maybe about. Okay, I think there's a little bit there. I think if we come here, let's see, roofers. Actually, this page, roofers San Diego. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Let me close that. Established roofing company. Da 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 da. Okay, so this is the bio section, and you can mine that I write for my clients is quite a bit bigger. I think you could say a bit more to get people interested in your service. So yeah, that's the bio section. So we want to know, how do we write all this stuff? Let's get into that. How do I do it? I leverage artificial intelligence, so I use Notebook LM and then ChatGPT. I do actually have a Claude subscription, but I find for the Pro one at least that it doesn't, um, it stops. It, like, you run out of credits or whatever, and it's really frustrating. So at least for the moment, I would avoid it. I would just use ChatGPT, and you should be able to use it for free for this kind of stuff. If you're doing like more intensive things, then you might need to pay $20 for a month of use. Notebook LM is free, so don't worry about that. So let's take a peek and get into that and how I do it. All right. So let's go to Notebook LM. Okay, this is Notebook LM. I'm creating a new notebook. So what is this all about? What I love about this is that you can take a bunch of documents, like potentially 20 to 30, and not just documents, but sources. You can even put websites in, or YouTube videos, Google Slides, etc. You can put all of this information in, and then you ask questions uh, and draw off of those sources. So what I'll do with clients is I'll walk them through an offer messaging session where we get all of the benefits of the roofing company, the customer pain points, uh, what the process is of doing business with the roofing company, and like the main services that they offer, the main money makers. I get all of this great copywriting material, and I put it into here, and then I ask it questions based off of that material. And I have specific prompts that will give me just the kind of answers that I need that will look great on a website. So that's how I use this. But in this case, we're just talking about directories, so it's actually quite a bit easier. But what you would do, if you're clever, is get all of that information about your business, put it into here as sources. So let's just, I'm just going to do something real quick, kind of made up information. But let's just create a document. I'm going to come to ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, um, make up information about a San Diego roofing company, their specialty, um, etc. And let's just make something up. Even got some images. Okay, great. Okay, here's some information. All right. So let's put that there. Sure, Pacific Crest. And actually, I'm just going to copy paste this in to make it easier. So we were here, Notebook LM, copied text. It's going to copy that. Okay. All right. So now what we're talking about is fleshing out the Google Business Profile. So you'll have the bio section where it's kind of like a brief description of the business. And then you'll have different sections for the services. So you want to talk about each of your services. And like I said, you can put you want to have information on each of your services in here, and you'll add them here, and then you come to this area and you can ask it to write out that description. So please give me a um, Google Business Profile description for my roofing company. And then it's going to draw off this source and give me that description. Okay. So that's pretty good. You'd probably want to work with it a little bit more. Make this description more relevant to the wants and needs of customers. Something like that, just to kind of make it a little better. What I notice is Notebook LM tends to give you a lot of information, which is great, but it's not always great at like reducing that because this is really long, a really long description. So what I do is I take that and then I come here and I paste it, and then I write something like, please condense this information to a digestible Google Business Profile description. Hit go. Okay, that's pretty nice. Boom. So you copy that, pop it in. All right, and then you do the same for the services. So please give me, if you had them, service description for roof installation to put on my, great. So again, it's probably going to give more information than we need. Yeah, like that's huge. What we're talking about is just like a small little blurb about that service. So we're going to pop back into ChatGPT and please give me a 2 to 3 sentence blurb about the roofing service in question. And I think as you do this, you're going to get better at writing prompts that give you exactly what you need. But there's one you could use. Okay, so I think you understand the process now. So you use these two tools. This Notebook LM is going to make the AI far less generic. Like if you just like ask like, hey, create some roofing material for me, ChatGPT is not going to know what to do. It doesn't have anything to work off, so it's just going to go online and your copy's going to be trash. So instead, what you do is you take you you do an offer messaging strategy with yourself. And actually, I think I'll come out with a video on like my kind of workflow with that. But you can get some books on sales copy and come up with information about your business. Pop it into here, ask it questions to get you that copy, and then use ChatGPT to make the copy sound better, have it be a little bit more condensed, shorter, digestible, etc. Okay. Then we have, setting up the directories. So, if you have any spreadsheet experience, I would highly recommend, getting a spreadsheet out. I think in my tutorial on Google Business Profile, I might have that. If not, I'll probably just create a separate video with like that kind of thing. But it's pretty straightforward. The directory, what status it is it active, pending, etc. Or you can just hire a company to do it, like Bright Local or SEO Builder. That's another one. Just one note. So if you use like Bright Local, etc., they tend to get a burner email. So that's just an email that they create. Could be a free Gmail account. The only issue I've run into is when they uh, if it's not set for like the reset email. If you like want a password reset, if they don't set the reset email to you, but just to them, it can make it hard. Like you might lose access to this. So what I would recommend is uh, when you have these companies do that, set up your own burner email and say like, hey, use this. That's what I would suggest. Okay. Uh, and that is about it. So we've covered Google Business Profile. The others like Bing. I'll cover those actually real quick. So Bing is quite important these days because ChatGPT is a thing, and OpenAI and Microsoft have a kind of connection, uh, making Bing more important for showing up in these the AI overview results. So, and it's not hard to like create a profile in Bing. So you come to this Bing Places for Business, say, I'm a new user, um, already on Google Business Profile. Uh, I've tried this, didn't work great. So I would do this: claim or add your business manually. So you say what kind of business you are. Let's say you're small, you're not in Portugal, you're somewhere else. So just say where you are. Basically, go off of your sheet that you use to create all of the other directories and just enter your information here. What's going to happen is the address that you give them, they're going to send you a little card, and then you give them the code, and then that activates um, your listing. Uh, Also, if you're worried about your business location, you can turn that off, or at least I was able to, so it's not going to show your location. So there's Bing. Yelp is, uh, so I guess like Yelp and Bing are kind of like the most involved directories besides Google Business Profile, of course. With that, like there's video verification, but like these three are like kind of like usually the hardest ones to set up because it's just they really check to make sure that you're a real business. And one more thing, yeah, I mean, this is for roofers, so it's not a problem, but if not all businesses qualify for these, so if you're just an online only business, then Google Business Profile, or you shouldn't be making one. So just heads up. Yeah, so if you want to create one of these, go to Yelp for Business, add a business, you can add your business, right? Put your business name, etc., and bada bing, should be good. All right. So I just want to make sure I covered everything. We talked about local SEO and directories. So these are the low-hanging fruit. Um, More people are going to find you when you're on these pages. It just looks better, if someone says like, "Oh yeah, I use this roofing company; they're really good," and someone wanted to look you up. Like, what are they? They're probably going to like kind of look at your credentials, right, and make sure you're a legitimate business. So if you're on these pages, that's going to send a lot of good signals, and it's also telling Google that you're serious too, and that could help increase your rankings. Uh, uh, but at least like be found. If you're on Google Business Profile, that's free marketing right there. You could be seen by a lot of people potentially, especially if you're in the top three results. So definitely getting on there. And once you are on all these, what's the play after that? The play after that is I would suggest trying to be fairly active on the Google Business Profile, which means putting up posts. You could put a post up every month, every 2 weeks or something, just to tell people basically that the lights are on. Uh, it might not be like a ranking significant thing, but I think it can help. Adding images, add as many images as you can, because I mean some of these I think have over like 7,000 images, but the more images you put in there, the more chances you are to be found. What else? You can get reviews. So um, what I like to do on websites is create a review page, which says like, "Hey, leave us a review," and then it lists like the different, Google Business Profile, Yelp, Bing, Yellow Pages, and kind of guides people on how to leave reviews. It's a nice like hub to help people leave reviews, and it's also easier because like you just have one link to send people instead of all these different links. So there's one link to one of your pages, and that's where they can go to leave reviews because they just click on a link. They can leave a review there, or leave on Yelp or Bing. Uh, and then the other thing for reviews, I should be writing these down for you, right? So because it's important. So in when you kind of teach people how to leave reviews, it shouldn't just be like they did a good job. That's not a helpful review for you SEO wise. What you want to add is they did a good job at installing metal roofing, because that tells Google that, oh, so that is a service that this company does. Great. Or you can do they another service. So they fixed slash repaired my shingles. So like roof repair. Okay, so they did a roof repair. So we want to get these kind of keywords for the reviews in there. So when you ask people for reviews, try to be a little bit more specific. Be like, uh, please tell me, or please mention what service it was, um, and and the location where it happened. Like, oh, they installed a beautiful thing over in San Diego, blah, 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 blah. So that is what's going to help with uh, it's going to help tell Google that you are where you say you are and you are doing those services that you say you're doing and you're doing a good job. So that is what you want. So we want review pages are important. And those are the low hanging fruit for directories. Hopefully that's been helpful. If you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe, please. And we're going to go to part 3, where we'll talk about. I haven't decided yet, but most likely it's going to be about creating the pages. So like the sales copy. It's not just like, oh, here's my service, I do this. We want to make copy that's really going to make people want to take their credit cards out. It's going to answer their questions, remove all doubts, that kind of thing. So that's probably going to be part 3. So stick around.